Hello and welcome. It is the 21st day of January 2019 and apparently a U.S. holiday. As I've noticed today that a lot of the sporting events, especially on the NBA, were played really early today, afternoon games. And I should have known because when I was looking at previous data a week or so back, taking market prices, at least from the precious metals, that early January, or late January rather, every Monday there seemed to be a holiday. Anyway, there isn't one here in Canada. Today there was a time frame or a few hours in which it was colder, and the Lake Ontario around that area there in Canada than it was in Antarctica, at least at the main, I think it's McMurdo Station. Just crazy how cold it is still, as it got to about negative 23 degrees Celsius as I was waking up. That is frigidly cold. It's still about negative 14 degrees Celsius. Throwing that part aside, all bets, trades of the like within each his own risk, their own reward. I'm not surprised to see that AID did what it did today, and I let my bets or my trades speak for itself. As I sold up at 949 in here, and I got my buyback. But this market earlier came up here, pulled back. I didn't do any selling there because, well, I figured earlier today that it was going to go higher, which it did. And as I look further, I think it's even going to continue to go higher as well, or this move is not over. After the bigger move in here, it had this nice correctionary play, got above the 18 average on the single hour time frame on this timestamp in here. I like how it proceeded thus thereafter. There we can see this morning having its big move. So as it was pulling back, I was expecting, because of how nicely it was progressing and supporting this little area rather than in here, not having its quick comeback, that it was going to come into place. And when I look further upon the market, that I can't see here, but just the bid ask, or the order book rather, what I'm looking at is that the 931 handle, somebody wants to buy close to 5 Bitcoin worth of these coins. So therefore, if it doesn't get sold down to this level, oftentimes people whom have these orders are going to be looking to buy, and they'll buy it up later on, oftentimes more than not. This tells me that the pressure, or the buying power at this time at least, is not completed. And mathematically, as far as the buy and the sell, 949 I bought in here, or sold rather, sold rather, 949 up on this point in here. And I wanted to see it come back to this area where it came from. And 650 was the first area I thought was the conservative area to buy. The low worked out to be that of 650 exactly. Why was that the conservative level? Well, it was back to where it came from. It wasn't quite where the 18 average was, and it wasn't quite even this level of resistance. It just wasn't there. But if it's going to resist more of the upper area, this is where I thought it would be. And that's where I originally did have my buy order in place. And then I seen later on, before this happened, that, hey, I could be buying at 620, 610. And I put an order there in. Hour, 2, 3 goes by, and I realized that it's probably better to go back to 650, because there was a big buy block, like somewhere around 600 or 610. I just figured I'd go a point above it. Then 2 hours or so later, that buy block was gone. So I ended up putting my buy order in at like 650 something, and it obviously hit. Then I'm thinking, on the sell, I can be selling above this level again. And normally when I'm trading, if I can find a way to get a 17, 18% play, I'm going to take it. And back in here, when the market was just doing this, that's all I was able to get. But now I'm going to adjust to the message of the market. And the market was telling me that after buying here, that I could easily sell for a little under 1,000. Higher than where the 949 was. It would be a Fibonacci retracement below here. It would also mean that if I sell at this point, which I did, then I can have a good sell order coming up higher, because I'm looking to sell around 14 next. 14 is where I'm looking to sell, where I'm looking to buy, pretty much where I bought before, 650. That's where my next orders are. And again, looking for 15-20% moves, and able to get greater than that because of the movements of the market is better for the overall profitability. And within the performance of such, as of the last trade close to the 1000 handle, I am up about close to 90% amongst the trade, whereas just holding on would be up about 53%, which is still good. I also note that this barely broke this level of resistance, and this one noticeably breaking above. I also own 2/3 the amount of coins that I did originally, as the market has rallied. And therefore, if this market goes haywire crazy, 2x, 3x, 5x kind of gains, the orange colored line is going to be going up and down on larger volatility, because it has more to go up or down with. So that's why if this just goes higher, you're going to see this line overlap this one. And going down, you're going to notice maybe a big move like this, where this would just have a smaller move because it has less to lose. So maybe something like that on any type of retracement. And that is that within the AID coin. Moving on to MUI, which I talked about this morning on the crypto day morning. And I had one of these cattail, or whatever you want to name it, type of candles where it had a good rally and ultimately came back to where it came from. But this session here, just a half hour in, has already shown a good green candle. Looking at this on the single hour term time frame, well, it has to be this hour because, well, the time says 19:20 or 34 minus 5 UTC. So thus it's 0034 UTC. That's the time of the recording. And you have the big move. So fast move high, grinding its way down. Look how long it took to go up. Look how slow it took to go down. Markets go up faster than they go down. It's becoming, or is, relatively consistent within such. 15-minute after not holding this first rally in here in the 4 o'clock morning time frame, continuous grinding its way down until just now. So it's gotten above this layer in 5 minutes. This thing is just a live moving market at this current time. Unfortunately for me, I was unable to buy it at this bottom area. My buy order was lower. So therefore, I'm just going to keep watching this market, realizing that I'm not here to try to predict its next short-term move. I'm going to be right if it's going to go up or down. Say something like up 25% or down 20%, which is the equivalency same. I'm not trying to predict which one will happen next. But if it does either or, up 25%, I'm probably going to sell. Down 20%, I'm probably going to buy. And so on and so forth. But the possibilities that this thing could have maybe a decent sized move coming forward, definitely in play. I like to see this decent sized volume in, and it could very easily just continue doing its nonchalantly, just hanging in there sideways for quite some time like it did before. That's not uncommon either. But again, not trying to guess its movement, and just trying to do best I can in getting market trades within these the best prices based on the order books and everything I can see. So next, take a look at Theta. This is an interesting one, and it had its big move here in late November. This was just beautiful for being able to sell, buy back, and basically get free tokens. Not really free, but make the profits that I'm looking to be making. And this thing just recently now is starting to take off in at 1408. For myself, my last few trades, I had a sell south of 1500 right in here, and I bought last back at 1322, which would have been in here, and I've done nothing since. So therefore, maybe this thing is going to come back up here soon, and I'll get another sell order. If it does, I'll put another buy order in, probably back around here again. And of course, I already got a sell order for the next level above that. And where would that be about? Well, not where my sell order, because I don't know exactly the area of what it would, or the exact number. I just know the area for what it would be. And we can look at this, say, things like a 4 hour time frame. And here, it's just that same high we've seen before, daily chart. It's almost on a who knows level. You got this previous level of 17. To me, I'm just going to be looking to fill my mathematical numbers. I don't like the Binance site for trying to figure out where the big orders are. Not many markets do have lower volume, which makes it easier to find the wall blocks and actually have them legitimate. But just it's so difficult to see the next like 30 or so orders. Where Bittrex has had its most recent change, they've made it easier in viewing the order book for looking like the next like 5% away, 20% away, short term or long term prices. Bittrex has a pretty good order book. But as this is playing out, I do like how after this last move, it's just been able to hold the 18 within the highs as it has. So this is the move back down, pretty much are supporting this general lower area of resistance. But now I see that today's session breaking out above the 18. I think this is fuel to go get above this level and test well above 1500, maybe 17, 18, 19, and who knows, because when these things are ready to go, I would not be shocked if by the end of the week this is this has got up to 3000 or 8000. I wouldn't be too shocked at all. I'd be excited and enthusiastic, but I wouldn't be overly shocked. Earlier today I talked about Tron, and well, it's breaking out of the 18 average of highs on the daily term time frame. Weekly chart, it's had a very nice run so far. And back in the day, when you looked at this pattern, it's to me it spoke volumes in its picture alone. I should almost it's almost the silence should tell you how it was not a surprise that the market has done what it has done. One leg higher to here, two legs higher up to this high, and now this breakout is signifying can it have one of two decent possibilities. A poor decent one is a retest of previous high, but that means going from 650 change to 850 change or 30 plus percent. But is it able to make a new leg higher? So if we have legs at like 400, then we go to 550, then it goes to 850. You'd be looking at about 1100 or so, just looking at the mathematics upon it, as a possible target level for a break of resistance. And it wouldn't be a surprise, just like in Theta, if it happened in 2 days, 3 days, it wouldn't be a surprise if it even crushed those levels. Instead of 1100, it just soars. We're at 1826. Things like that would not be a surprise for me, because it's showing to me the stages of a leg higher just by what I'm seeing on the possible breakout. And then we have Stellar Lumens here, which is just hanging in there with the 18 average of lows on the daily term. EOS still neutral in this range here, but not showing nothing as if this is ready for a significant move on either side of the direction either way. It's at the point where it's multiple hit resistance at the 738 handle. It breaking that could be very big, and this level of support here now established at 632. It's only 20 or so basis points up from that now. That we could be testing lower areas, but nothing here shown on the 18 daily chart that this is breaking out, as the 18 average, which was rising, is now declining. It's hanging in there, so its correctionary phase is not only still live, but it's one of those wild card situations for me where I really don't know where the decent break is going to be, and really nor do I care, because my buy and sell orders are just going to be just ready to go in proper places. Ripple continues sideways action, really not doing too much, more of a long term sideways bull market, but not showing much strength on the daily. And at this stage, I'm just trying to find random codes just to signify. This is just a few codes that seem to be looking well. The whole crypto market in general is not bullish by any means right now. But LSK, interesting look here amongst the 18 highs. So this thing has got the curiosity factor for me as we look forward. I think that's a strong setup how it's holding such. I haven't looked at the 4 hour until now. Oh, sweet. You see the support of this level of resistance? This thing's got the potential to get going and test some of this area, go to 37 up to 39, and who knows there after that. But definitely decent setup. And let's just do a couple random ones. I have no idea how the daily is performing. Well, Redcoin, excitingly not doing much. Next one, Qtum. Its volatility is definitely shrinking, hanging on to the 18 lows like a thread, but you have this move high so far through the sideways correctionary move. Some okay, but not so great volatile moves up and down from December 27th through really January 6th. Then after these whatever days, you had some nice green, red, and up candle down days. But the volatility really started shrinking on January 16th. For 5 days, 6 days now, just doing a whole bunch of nothing in here. It does look as if it's possibly ready for a decent leg lower, given that after these rallies that have been failing, every single time the sellers have came in and buyers just are coming in right now to prop this up, and I would expect there's a better chance that it's going to go down like here than it would up here, but I'm not going to bet that. It's almost, I realize that it's like I don't like gambling that way if I don't have to. It really isn't fun. Although gambling is something I don't mind doing, which of course everybody who's been following my channel knows that that's just obvious and it's like an exaggeration of the truth. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye bye.